Bruno, hectic finish, but you won.
Yeah, we know how he's playing against Everton here at their home. Obviously, we know when they have a corner, sometimes seems like a goal for them. They're really dangerous, obviously, and with the support from their supporters there is really tough. But we did well, we defend really well. Great block from Marcos at the end. And this is what it's about. It's like togetherness, effort, make the best for the team.
We saw a bit of character because you had a terrible start, but you recovered.
Yeah, I think obviously we don't have a terrible start. We conceded a goal from nothing, but I think we played pretty well in the first half. The second half, the last 20 minutes, we could do a little bit better. But anyway, three big points for us. It's really important to get back on the winning track.
Did we see the kind of intensity that the manager's looking for and the concentration as well?
Yeah, the manager and ourselves also. We know we want these kind of games. We want to show this spirit, this togetherness. It's really important for us that we carry on this, because this was what made us make that 4 wins in a row and made us win today. So we have to carry on.
Antony's been a great recruit. 3 goals in 3 Premier League games.
No, obviously he's an amazing player. We knew the qualities he had. Obviously, we know that all the players up front have such good qualities. Antony is one of that. That's why the club pay that amount of money for him. So we are really happy for him, but we want even more for him.
And we can't leave without mentioning Cristiano Ronaldo. That's his 700th club goal. Good man to have off the bench.
It's tough still counting goals to Cristiano, because every week seems like a new record. Obviously, we are really happy. He's been working hard to find this goal. We saw it in the last Thursday. Was tough for him because he tried really hard. The keeper made good saves. The post stopped him for a little bit, didn't score. But today he had the goal and we win. So that's the most important. I think for Cristiano is the most important is that the team wins. And obviously for him as a striker, he wants to score goals. Everyone knows him, and we are really, really happy for that.
Well, a good night's work. Thanks, Bruno.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Des. Yes, Ronaldo delivering for the team tonight and reaching yet another milestone in that 2-1 victory. And yesterday in the Premier League, Manchester City were comfortable in a 4-0 drubbing of Southampton. Haaland, of course, also getting another goal. Bruno Guimaraes was man of the match, scored 2 in Newcastle's win over Brentford at St James's, and a Harry Kane goal secured Tottenham's win over Brighton. Earlier, Palace beat Leeds 2-1, and West Ham came from a goal down to win at home to Fulham. Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-2 at home. Martinelli and Saka with 2 goals in that huge victory for the Gunners. So as far as the table goes, Manchester United in 5th, 1 point behind Chelsea in 4th place, and Arsenal have retaken top spot in the league. They are 14 points clear of Liverpool after that victory this afternoon, and Man City in 2nd remain the only team yet to lose in the Football League. So a setback today for Everton. They remain in the bottom half. They're in 12th now with 10 points from their opening 9 games.
You know, I didn't like some of that stuff in the first half, and it was better in the second half. And as you say, we pushed with a lot of spirit in the end. I sort of applaud that a little bit from our point of view. But it's disappointing because of where we're at. Have been moving in a good direction, and we just get checked. Might not be the worst thing in the long term.
Did the Antony goal just rattle you a little bit?
It's just a goal that's, you know, it's normal, isn't it? You know, they score a goal when you go 1-0 up. You feel like we're playing well recently, so you feel like you might have a chance to sort of assert some authority in the game. But that didn't really happen, to be fair to Manchester United. They had good possession and moved the ball well. And yeah, again, you reflect. There's a lot of things I can reflect on in the game, things that is our job to, and details of the game. But then when you look at it in a cold light of day, it's 2 mistakes from us that lead directly to their goals, and you know those goals affect the result.
If you're looking for some positives, Alex Iwobi is a player that's continually improving. You seem to sort of put an arm around him and given him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think he just feels that from me. You know, so I don't have to have a million conversations with him. He plays well, plays at a really high level. Been doing that for a long time, last season and into this season, and he wants more goals in his game, and he scores a great goal, so that's a great thing. I thought his performance in itself was good. A little bit of the sort of tactical discipline of the team I wasn't in love with first half, and maybe, as I say, it's a check. When you play a team the level of Manchester United, a lot of people talk about Man U, their result last week or whatever. the reality is they've got some really good players and a good way of playing, and if you can't affect them and get close to them to disrupt that, they can gain a bit of control in the game, and in the first half we allowed them to do that.
Thanks very much, Frank.
Thanks, Des. Thank you.
Yeah, well, Frank Lampard said Everton lost the game in the first half. They got off to that amazing start, of course, with the player he was talking about there, Alex Iwobi, inside 5 minutes. So aside from Manchester United's part, it was a super finish, and he's been asking to add more goals to his game.
Yeah, I think that's what he gives you when he plays in here. You know, he has... I think initially he was always a winger. You see Antony there. You know, this is just a nothing ball. You don't pass that ball into Casemiro. It's dead. It doesn't exist. And then the transition's on. You know, there's obviously got runners. And Iwobi joins in. He doesn't have to. You know, back in the day, you would see people drop in there for some, and it's a fantastic finish. I think under Frank, he's been fantastic. There's great energy in that midfield, and if he can add goals to his game, you know, he's undroppable, Mo.
Yeah, lovely goal from Everton's point of view. Runners, as we highlighted there, creating the space for Iwobi, and he picks the ball up. And as you say, adding goals to his game will be the final piece of the jigsaw for him.
And at the end, we saw Jordan Pickford go up. We saw the set piece after set piece. They threw just about everything at Manchester United.
They did. They give it a right good go, as you would expect. Kicking into the Gladys Street in the second half, you'd expect them to give it a real good push, and they did. And they were unlucky on certain occasions. But you know, having gone 1-0 up at home, you don't really expect them to lose the game, so they'll be frustrated overall. But yeah, nothing to be ashamed about. Everton were in a far worse state. You know, I can think back a month, 2 months or whatever, and you were thinking, wow, they're struggling a little bit here. Couldn't see where a win was going to come from, but now all of a sudden they look as if they're all right and they can pick up points again.
At the end, you've had your forensic glass out, and you think maybe United were a little fortunate on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, I did, yeah. It was, you know, no doubt Manchester United played well enough to win the game. But there were a couple of occasions, especially on set pieces. I thought Luke Shaw had Onana's shirt quite a few times. We see there's one, he literally rips it right the way over his shoulder. Now, we'll show a few examples here. There's another one there. And if it was a less honest player, let's say, somebody that was going to go to ground, then VAR would have to check it, and then they would have to give a foul for that. Because on 3 occasions we see Luke Shaw, look at that, pulling his shirt again. So virtually every time, it was a bit of a mismatch height-wise, but, you know, if anybody had spotted that, or, as I say, Onana had gone down, brought the attention to the referee, then all of a sudden we might be looking at a different outcome.
Strikers Union?
That's how you have to defend against somebody who's about a foot taller than you. Luke Shaw and Onana, it's like there's a foot difference. This is how they should defend against Haaland. You got to bump him. You got to pull him. And the thing is, you pull him or you bump him, but then you let go before the ball comes. They'll never give a pen. They don't. And Mo makes a great point. If you look at it 3 times, you think, right, there's something in that. But if you let go at the right time, the ref won't give it. And I think that's when these guys are this big and this strong, like Onana and Haaland, you got to find a way to minimise the difference in the height and the strength. Luke Shaw did that incredibly well. Could have easily been blown, but I think if you let go at the right time, the refs aren't going to give it.
Welcome back to Goodison Park. Manchester United have beaten Everton 2-1 here. Cristiano Ronaldo off the bench to score the winner, his 700th club goal this evening. Disappointing night for Everton. Their unbeaten run at an end here. Jolien, we talked Man United just before the break. From Everton's perspective, how much of a setback was tonight?
Yeah, it's a setback because it's on such a good run in regards to 6 games unbeaten. But under tonight's performance, they can't look like they could have won this game. I don't think any keeper was really troubled apart from the last 5 minutes when De Gea and Everton put a lot of pressure putting balls into the box. But overall, in general play, I don't think they created enough chances. Antony Gordon was quieter than he usually has been in recent weeks, and probably didn't utilise him or Mopé enough in regards to making the defenders defend, putting the balls down the channel. We've seen it a little bit more when Dominic Calvert-Lewin came on, but overall, from a defensive point of view and players coming to Goodison, that was a pretty easy performance for defensive side of Manchester United's game.
We talked about the need for Manchester United to bounce back. Does it feel, though, Joe, that Man City can just demolish anybody at the moment, but tonight that was the sort of game that they have to be winning if they want to finish in the top 4 this season?
Yeah, I think a little bit of what happened in Man City was catching Man City at their absolute brilliant best for 45, 50, 60 minutes. They still managed to score 3 goals in that game, regardless of when they come. But tonight, they dug in. We've all known it. Joleon's played it. It's such a tough place to come, you know. And Frank's got them at it. And Frank's got, you know, they're diligent. They're at it. The midfield are powerful. So Manchester United had to play well tonight, you know. And not so much had to play well. They had to compete, and that's what they did. Having Casemiro in there, you block in the lines, give a little bit more strength, a bit more stability in the midfield, and then it allowed Antony, Rashford, later on Ronaldo to get into the game, and they created enough chances. They could be, and for me, the big tick for Manchester United tonight was the character in the last 5 minutes in dealing with the set pieces that were coming in. That
Because they needed it.
They needed it, and Varane just coming off the bench. You can come in cold. It's October. It's freezing. He's used to the sun shining in Madrid. He's coming on, and then he's getting shelled with crosses, and you know everyone flying in, and he dealt with that. I know he's an experienced campaigner, but he's still doing it. So that shows that there's some fight in this Manchester United team. There's something for the fans to cling on to under Ten Hag. But listen, there's still a lot of holes in their game, and they're still a million miles away from Manchester City. But that's a positive for tonight for United.
He stood firm and he had to. Or we might be talking about Jordan Pickford getting the equaliser here tonight. It was the Rio Ronaldo with the winner here this evening, and we saw that Real Madrid connection in action for it, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, Casemiro first and foremost in this. If you watch it, the first bit I play here, he gives it away there. And he gives that ball away and you think, oh, and we was all like, oh my God, he's having a bad start to the game. But then you see him here, this is what I love about him, his anticipation in these positions, and he's nous, he's understanding, game understanding. Here, right, I'll win it back again. But the best part of this, yes, he wins it back, doesn't buy the step over, but his immediate thought is once he wins it, is there. And you know this guy, where he is in these positions here, he's only thinking one thing, get me in these areas at goal. And it's a great transition. And from this point on, you think, you know what? A quicker centre-half than Conor Cody, as good as he's been and as good as he is, probably pushes him out here, at least minimum slows Cristiano down. So he has to do more to get a shot off. And allows players like Tarkowski to get in and support him, and the other player there chasing back. Because of the lack of pace, that gets exploited here, and it's a fantastic finish in the end. This is clinical. This is Cristiano Ronaldo at his best.
It's a clever position Ronaldo picks up. You know, that's clever. He's not centre forward standing with Conor. He gives Conor Cody a problem straight away just by going and standing over there when the right back vacates. But Rio's right. Quicker centre half may have been able to shuffle that, but he still had enough and it was a good finish.
But also I think Pickford could have helped him out as well. I think the position and the speed that he comes out with means Conor Cody doesn't get that last 2-3 strides to make a tackle. I think if he's on his line or closer to his line, all of a sudden, because Cody's nearly there, and obviously Ronaldo will have to steady himself when he's taking a strike. So maybe if he's a little bit deeper, it allows Conor Cody to get 2 more strides in or an extra stride and make a tackle or attempt.
You're both centre halves there. Conor Cody, is he thinking, if I can just get there in time to block the far post, Jordan Pickford's then got to deal with the near post?
That's the thing. I think when you're defending, you can't stop everything, and especially when it's Ronaldo, you're never going to stop everything. But you have to limit his options, and his option is to shoot with his left foot near post. So you're kind of backing your goalie in that scenario, and it's obviously he's world class, so he can finish.
I think a big thing to point out as well, that chance there, after what happened in midweek in Europa League, where he missed multiple chances, you could see the frustration seeping out of his pores.
It felt like the whole team was desperately trying to get
but you know him better than anyone, Rio. Like, that one phased him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that a lot of players would have come into this game and that chance would have come and they would have probably shied away from it. And maybe they would have had to take another 2 steps, allowing the defender to get back. This guy just doesn't feel that pressure. No. Them chances are gone now, wiped out. I'm here to do a job. And it's just testament to somebody at the age that he is at, with all that he's achieved, still having that drive and determination to come on and prove people wrong. Because there's no doubts in my mind, he's not sitting there satisfied with what he's done. There's still more to be done. It's crazy with the numbers that this guy's achieved.
He loves a record, it feels, and a milestone. As Joleon said, you know him really well. How will he feel to be at that 700 mark?
Yeah, he'll be delighted with that. But I think the bigger picture for him now, immediately, I think in time he'll look back and be happy with that. But I think right now he'll be sitting there and he'll probably be sitting and thinking to the manager, I've given you something to think about now. You dare try and leave me out again. That will be his thinking.
I don't think the manager does. I don't think, because even tonight, like, that is why he's in the team. Like, the intensity was there throughout the team, you could say, but he's not in there to press. Like,
does that change Ten Hag's thinking about him now?
It has
going
to.
forward?
It has to, because he's the one player you want in that situation, regardless of any goal scoring opportunity. You want Ronaldo to have it, and they're not coming free flowing. They're not creating multiple chances every game. It's limited. So if you keep creating limited chances, you want the person that you know has the highest conversion rate.
Yeah, I think you both hit the nail on the head earlier when we were talking about, like, with Ronaldo was out of the team and then you see the front three pressing like mad and you can see something visually and go, right, that's Man United, that's where they're going, all right, Ronaldo's at 38, can't do that. But they're not even pressing like mad, the front three. They press a little bit. Like, when he comes on, they don't lose anything in the press for me. So, like, from an outsider looking at you, like, why is he not playing? Because you know he's going to bring you moments, guaranteed.
Well, today they made their most retrievals of the ball in the opposition's final third. So Ronaldo's on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? This season they've won the ball back more than any other time this season. So it says that it can be done with him in the team if the whole team's functioning right.
Well, Erik ten Hag said on Thursday Man United were not that good. Let's see what he made of them this evening here at Goodison Park. Here he is with Des.
Eric had a few nervous moments at the end there, but overall that must be a very satisfying performance.
We are quickly 1-0 down, but the reaction of the team is good, and also it was one of our aims to deal better with setbacks, and now they stay composed, came in the game, play out of a good formation. I think first 35 minutes were quite impressive from our side.
You complained that they were too static in recent games, and did you see an advance there? Did you see better pressing from the side as well?
Yeah, I think especially the first half was the pressing well, and Everton didn't come out, and it was difficult for them to come in the game. And the game is to get switches and get a lot of crosses in, and we didn't allow them. So happy with that.
You mentioned the early goal for Everton. I think as Casemiro was introduced to how quickly tackles fly in this kind of game.
Yeah, but I think he will anticipate quickly, and you saw that during the game how important he is. He's that composed, winning a lot of balls, winning also the goal from Cristiano Ronaldo. So he grew into the game. So good performance.
Yeah. What was the Martial injury? Was this a recurrence of his previous?
No, I don't think so. Something different. He had a problem in his back. But he was important. Assist on the goal with Antony. Yeah. So happy with that. And once again, we are also happy with all the subs who coming on. And Cristiano making the winning goal. Clear. But also Scott, Rafa was in the end. You mentioned some 4 difficult situations, and you see how important Rafa is there with his organisation and his heading capacity.
Yeah, and you generally managed the second half until that flurry at the end.
Yeah, ball can always come in, and we should have scored already, and I think it was a goal. Then was the game over, but we had many more spaces we didn't use in the counter in attacking transition. So yeah, that's the next step we have to make. But I think happy with the result, of course, but for a lot of periods also happy with the performance.
And tonight was a step in itself, because it's quite a hard place to come and get any result.
It's difficult here. You are right. Goodison Park, Everton, the crowd behind, but also they are in a really good series. Everton, 7 games unbeaten, and also difficult to score against them. And now we scored 2, maybe 3. So that's good.
Well done. Thanks, Eric.
Please.
Yes, they have been tough to beat this season, Everton, but Manchester United have done it with that 2-1 win. He talked, Rio, about Casemiro there as well, saying he grew into the game. You wondered whether at the start it was perhaps the wrong game to start him under the lights here at Goodison, but how do you think he did improve as the game went on?
No, I think Casemiro plays in any game in this country. I think, like the manager said there, he's somebody who has the experience. He's won multiple Champions Leagues, 5 to be precise. He has the experience. He understands football. Although it's a different stadium, different environment, he'll get used to it and he'll adapt quickly because of the intelligence. You don't play at them levels without having a level of intelligence. Yes, he started poorly, gave the ball away for the goal, but as the manager said, he grew into the game. And these are the parts you bring him for. Yeah. If you had a highlights reel on his performance today with the ball, you'd say he shouldn't be playing maybe. But without the ball, positions that he took up, the way that he regained possession, positions he took up and didn't allow players to play the ball forward into dangerous areas, that is what you need in your team if you're going to have any stability in this team. And this is his touch map. Like I say, I'm not too concerned with him on the ball. He'll give it to the players that are there to create. That's been his game his whole career. He's there to plug gaps, plug spaces. And for me, and for probably Joel would agree, as a centre-back, in a game like this or any type of game in this league, you need someone in front of you who knows how to marshal that space in front to not give away opportunities easy.
I think it highlights in the fact that Martinez and Lindelof haven't had bad games, but they've had limited things to do because of the positions he's put himself in. And that was the thing I used to love. Mark Carrick, Gareth Barry, Nigel de Jong used to always position himself to make me do less work, which, again, as a centre-half is what you want to do.
The dream to have in front of you, though.
Oh, definitely. As you said, he's got so much knowledge and experience. Nothing's going to faze him. Yeah, I think the highlight of last week's performance has made the manager put him in today. I don't think he starts if the performance was better last week. But listen, he grew into the game and showcased what he can do.
He's the only midfield player in this whole squad who knows how to defend instinctively, and it's part of their makeup and the best part of their game.